1 Samuel 19, 8 through 18, and 24, 1 through 7. War broke out again, and David went out to fight Philistines. He beat them badly, and they ran for their lives. But then a black mood from God settled over Saul and took control of him. He was sitting at home, his spear in his hand, while David was playing music. Suddenly, Saul tried to skewer David with his spear, but David ducked. The spear stuck in the wall and David got away. It was night. Saul sent men to David's house to stake it out and then, first thing in the morning, to kill him. But Michal, David's wife, told him what was going on. "Quickly now, make your escape tonight. If not, you'll be dead by morning." She let him out of a window, and he made his escape. Then Michal took a dummy god and put it in the bed, placed a wig of goat's hair on its head, and threw a quilt over it. When Saul's men arrived to get David, she said, "He's sick in bed." Saul sent his men back, ordering them, "Bring him, bed and all, so I can kill him." When the men entered the room, all they found in the bed was the dummy god with its goat hair wig. Saul stormed at Michal. "How could you play tricks on me like this? You sided with my enemy, and now he's gotten away." Michal said, "He threatened me. He said, 'Help me out of here or I'll kill you.'" David made good his escape and went to Samuel at Ramah and told him everything Saul had done to him. Then he and Samuel withdrew to the privacy of Naioth. David is now on the run. He goes from Ramah to Nob. He goes from Nob on to Gath, a Philistine city, where he pretends he is mad. Then he goes from there to Adullam, where he hides out for a while and then decides his family is in danger, so he continues on to Moab to leave them there. From Moab he goes to the stronghold, or Masada. From Masada he hears that the village of Keilah is in trouble, so he rescues them from invaders, but they intend to turn him over to Saul, so he runs to the wilderness of Ziph. From Ziph he goes to En-Gedi, which we will pick up his story in 1 Samuel 24. When Saul came back, after dealing with the Philistines, he was told, "David is now in the wilderness of En-Gedi." Saul took 3 companies, the best he could find in all Israel, and set out in search of David and his men in the region of Wild Goat Rocks. He came to some sheep pens along the road. There was a cave there, and Saul went in to relieve himself. David and his men were huddled far back in the same cave. David's men whispered to him, "Can you believe it? This is the day God was talking about when he said, 'I'll put your enemy in your hands. You can do whatever you want with him.'" Quiet as a mouse, David crept up and cut off a piece of Saul's royal robe. Immediately he felt guilty. He said to his men, "God forbid that I should have done this to my master, God's anointed, that I should so much as raise a finger against him. He's God's anointed." David held his men in check with these words and wouldn't let them pounce on Saul. Saul got up, left the cave, and went on down the road.